You want to know the best brain maxing methods out there, and I'm here to deliver. I did the research, so you don't have to. I compiled a list of my personal favorites as well as stuff that's being talked about a lot and circulated a lot online on the basis of neuroscience, on the basis of what I believe to work and what I believe to be overhyped or placebo even. Without further ado, let's get right into it. We will start with NoFap. In case you don't know what that is, consider yourself lucky, first of all. And second of all, NoFap is basically just a funny term for long-term voluntary abstinence from masturbation. That's it. There are some people out there that actually believe that if you don't masturbate for like a year or two or more, you can actually gain powers. You're able to float, you're able to think clear, your testosterone goes up, your dopamine goes up, all sorts of crazy claims, right? But is it true? Is any of that true? Well, I'm here to tell you that unfortunately, no, my chuds. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. There's actually a couple of studies on this, and I'm not kidding. You can Google them yourself. It only increases testosterone after you nut, and it only lasts like a couple of hours at best. Probably just because you have to make the nut again. So I'm sorry, but there's just no brain upgrades for you. There is some good though. There is something to extract from this, but only if, and I mean if, it's gotten so bad with gooning, if it's gotten to the point where it takes some sort of bizarre, weird, niche pornography to get you off, to get you nutting, then maybe you should give NoFap a try. Just saying, you need to stop. But otherwise, it's not going to do anything. So I'm sorry, this one's going in the overhyped / placebo tier. Next up, we've got sports, not Wii Sports, actual sports, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're not doing it already, then get to it, because there is a huge amount of research on this, not just for brain maxing per se, but also for overall health. It's been proven that sports actually can increase the receptor availability of dopamine D2, which is responsible for your impulse control, among other things, which means essentially instead of no fapping, you can just start doing sports. You'll get more impulse control that way. You can control yourself better. There is basically no reason for you not to be doing sports. Find the time to, seriously, no matter what it is, whether you're doing cardio or weightlifting, there's marginally more benefit in doing cardio for brain maxing than weightlifting. Ideally, of course, you want to be doing both. Both is better, but get to doing sports. So yeah, no brainer. This one's going to peak. Also, no, this is the main event. We're not doing that right now. Next up, we'll talk about a couple of supplements. First off, lion's mane. What the hell are we looking at? Well, that is literally what lion's mane looks like, by the way, if you didn't know. I see this one recommended quite often on YouTube videos, ads of gaming supplements, and let me just say, it is, in my opinion, and according to science as well, quite exaggerated. It's been shown to have, like, at best, moderate effects on people with mild cognitive impairments, so people who already have cognitive issues in the first place, right? On healthy people, on the other hand, results are mixed. Some people say, okay, it did help me. Plenty more are saying they haven't noticed any difference. If you want to experiment anyway, or if you're taking this in like a complex or individually, then let me know what it did for you, because I'm genuinely curious if this has actually done anything for you. But for now, this is my personal opinion. I'm sorry, but it is going in the overhyped. Next up, we've got, I hope I'm saying this right, ashwagandha. I think that it is a slight cut above lion's mane in that it actually has been proven in a couple of studies that it can and it does reduce cortisol. Yes, low cortisol, you've heard right. Up to like 28% if I'm remembering right. The most studied variant of ashwagandha is the KSM66. The most research has been done on it, and there are some side effects though to ashwagandha. Namely, it can increase your thyroid hormone levels, so be careful. I would advise you to consult a doctor before you start this supplement. Technically any supplement you see here, right? Just in case, because you don't want to have some random side effects and then blame me for doing it. In case it wasn't obvious, even though I am a doctor, I'm not telling you to take any of this. I'm just stating a couple of facts. But moving on, I would put ashwagandha in the mixed bag / depends due to the side effects. Next up, we got cocaina, no flour. This is actually magnesium. Please don't demonetize me. It is also, in my opinion, like a slight cut above lion's mane because it's been proven to help with sleep, especially in older people. And it has the potential benefit of helping people who are deficient in magnesium. If you find yourself constantly fatigued or have some sort of brain fog and you haven't actually tested your vitamin levels, then might as well do it. And among other things, make sure to test magnesium as well. Talk to your doctor, because having it supplemented when you're deficient in it can actually really improve your quality of life and your brain maxing, of course. So I would put it at, of course, mixed bag / depends. Creatine is, I think, the most researched supplement out there. It is cheap, it is easy to get, and it tastes like absolute dog shit. That's why I put this little image over here. But the mechanism behind it is genuinely solid. It helps with physical and mental energy by acting like an extra buffer when you need it. If I were to use a gaming metaphor, if you would allow me to use a humble gaming metaphor, it's kind of like, imagine taking extra HP, like golden apples in Minecraft. It's like, imagine you're preparing for a boss fight that's like really difficult. You've been grinding, you've been dying to this boss like 10 to 15 times. It's a Dark Souls boss, and you need that extra HP. Creatine kind of works like that in the sense that it gives you an extra buffer, and you mostly notice it when you're incredibly sleep deprived or when you're, for example, working out and you get like an extra rep because you've got like an extra level of energy. So how do you like dumb apples? Anyway, creatine is probably the only supplement that belongs here in the solid tier. Next up, we've got omega-3. This is also one that you see everywhere, especially people that are into longevity communities like Rhonda Patrick or Peter Attia. Omega-3 maxers claim that it can actually reduce overall cardiovascular mortality and increase cognition. To which I say, maybe, sure. It probably has the same amount of evidence as lion's mane, which isn't high. I would be very careful taking this. In fact, I wouldn't take this at all. If you want omega-3, just go ahead and eat some salmon, eat some tuna steaks. It's a lot healthier, and the risk of developing heart arrhythmia is lower than you'd get by supplementing it. I don't recommend it, so I'm putting this in. I think it's overhyped, I'm sorry. Normally I put it here with the others, ashwagandha and magnesium, but because of the arrhythmia thing, I'm sorry, it's going here. Moving on to my personal favorite supplement, if you can call it that, caffeine. A couple Joes a day takes the EP away, at least for me. Some people actually get headaches or get jittery from this, so if you're one of those people, maybe you could try taking it with L-theanine. L-theanine, by the way, you don't get that much from drinking actual tea, so if you want to try it, you want to try and supplement it. There's even plenty of products that are coming out now in supermarkets. For example, in Germany, I think there's a drink with like both of them combined. And basically, theanine acts kind of like a buffer. With the caffeine, you take it together and you stop getting the jitters. Don't drink too much though, it might actually increase blood pressure and pulse. If you get like bad anxiety or bad reflux from it, then maybe don't drink it. But if you're struggling to concentrate, especially mornings, if you're not a morning person like I'm not, then why not? But I would put this in solid. Next up on the list is sleep. I think it's obvious why sleep is non-negotiable, right? Everything you do during the day, everything you study, you learn. You could learn to play the piano, for example. You could read a book. You could try to learn a language. It almost doesn't matter if you don't get a good night's rest. Most of your memory consolidation occurs during sleep. It plays a huge role in immunity, and furthermore, it is essential in brain waste clearance. So if you don't want dementia, go to sleep right now. Like if it's 2 a.m. and you're watching this video, what the are you doing? Just go to sleep right now, my dude. The video would basically never end if I were to talk about why sleep is important, but it's peak. Trust me, it is peak. Next up, we've got the main event. I think that's probably why you clicked this video, because you were expecting me to talk about dopamine detox, right? You essentially let go of social media, of tech abusive shit, and it is pretty controversial. Why? Because it hangs on a pretty disputed idea, which is modern content usage actually a drug? For it to be a drug, we need to assume that it can have a similar dopamine boosting effect to that of a drug, like say, yeah, this thing over here. If we assume this to be true, then yes, technically you can call it detoxing. Let's go through the modern addiction loop right here. You see, you take the drug, you go into withdrawal, you survive the withdrawal, hopefully, and then you go into craving. And then because you can't control yourself anymore, you get intoxicated again, and the cycle goes on and on. But the thing is, for you to go from this stage, from intoxication to withdrawal, there is a certain threshold, so to speak, as to how much your dopamine receptors are being fried. So let's say a certain drug that starts with C has like a 500% stimulation effect on your dopamine receptors. That is more than enough to fry your receptors and to bring you into the dysfunctional response that is needed for you to go into withdrawal, to be jittery, to shake, to have high blood pressure, and so on. Tech consumption, content consumption in general, technically is not that bad. It is getting worse thanks to Mr. Beast over here, blasting like 5,000 transitions a second in every one of his videos. Like, no wonder the kids don't stand a chance. They don't even have like a fully functional frontal cortex yet. But okay, neuroscientists, at least most of them, claim that tech consumption does not have the effect a drug does, even though I technically disagree. But for the sake of argument, let's say it's 100%. Since it's 100%, it's not enough for you to go into withdrawal. That's it. End of the argument. Bullshit, right? It's fake. The only problem is that because of the social cues, you get kind of like the same effect of withdrawal without being into withdrawal. You see, everyone nowadays is using their phone, and you're most likely in a WhatsApp group, and you can't just throw your phone away. You have to respond to messages because you've got work colleagues there or buddies from school. You want to talk to your friends, right? And let's say one of them sends you a meme, and you click the meme, and then you got the social cue, and you're back in the loop. You've just been intoxicated, and you're addicted again. Wonderful. So basically, dopamine detox nowadays is kind of useless. We're moving on to essentially, I don't know if this is a real thing, but Dr. K talked about it. He's my idol. I'm going to be straight with you. I thought this would be a straight garbage tier thing. I thought I would make a tier just for it because it sounds like garbage to me. Like when I say the word meditation, what does that trigger in your brain? Bullshit, scam, right? No, it actually turns out there is research. There has been research done on this. People who do real meditation activate specific parts in their brain that are not activated in the sham group. It actually can help, maybe not with cognition per se, but it just might be able to do something for your impulse control. Monk mode, for this reason, not solid enough to be solid, but I think it deserves a spot here in the mixed bag. What if I told you that you can actually make DOPA detox efficient? Make your life so interesting that there is no reason for you to start scrolling. Once you feel the urge to scroll, move to another room, create as much distance between you and your phone as possible. This is called friction maxing, in which you make it as difficult as possible for you to access your phone. You can also get like an app that controls how much time you can spend on it per day. You can also lock it in a box. It doesn't matter. The idea is to make it as difficult as possible for you to use your phone. Even gaming is better than this, right? The only thing worse than scrolling on TikTok is scrolling on TikTok and gooning. If you've enjoyed the video, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. I've got more and more planned. Till next time.